Now, we're going to move in towards the second part of the news here, and this is obviously the change, the other half of the karrigan leaving mouz to FaZe. Well, obviously, in-game leadership role to fill. And Dexter, the man who doesn't have any kids, I still don't know if he does have a bachelor's degree in accounting or not. We're going to have to work that one out. I'm sure that maybe he does. He is now the in-game leader of mouz. I believe that mouz flew him out. They actually got him out of Australia somehow. I'm not sure how they smuggled him out. But they're able to get him now as the in-game leader, filling the shoes of karrigan, which is no easy role whatsoever, especially somebody as seasoned with in-game leading at the tier 1. And I'll start with you again, next, just straight off the bat. Having Dexter, this is somebody you obviously haven't had too much experience playing against, right? Because domestically being locked away for a year, you know, maybe you had a couple of clashes or seen him over the years, but nothing that you can really sink your teeth into. Having somebody who has this little experience coming into a team of relative youngsters, what do you make of this initially? Do you think this is a slow burn? You think this is going to, you know, go well from the gate? What are your initial takes?
I don't know how it'll go like from the beginning, but I can say that I'm a really big fan of the move. Like, I think it's been really long overdue for him to actually step out of this like Australian scene and actually get into Europe or even NA. Like, I was expecting him like way before to go into like the roster with Azure, JKS, and the guys. Like, honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised at all if he managed to get on this roster and be their IGL as well. Like, I remember him even like from the days when I was playing in Renegades and we were playing Asian Minor. Like, he was also there. I matched up with him as well when he was in Great Hound at the Berlin Major. Like, all I can say is that like I am actually a fan of him, and I think he's gonna do really great things with mouz sports.
Now, we have high praise of him here on the show. Striker, are you seeing this as a good move? Are you seeing this as we're taking a chance? Because we know in the past we've heard that maybe mouz sports don't always have the money to make the mega moves. Does this feel like the right move considering the circumstances?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, considering that karrigan would have probably left no matter what. I don't think like mouz could have done much to keep him, just because of the fact that they literally couldn't get anybody like big, you know, to get on that roster
in-game leaders
and to get them out of the rut. Yeah. And so, like, given that karrigan is the one leaving, like, basically, like, you don't really have options when it comes to in-game leaders, especially in this kind of time and age. And so having somebody from like a different region, you know, like a new face a little bit, is a good move for mouz, especially considering, like you say, it's probably pretty cheap to get compared to like a lot of the other options. So I definitely like the move. The only thing that I'm a little bit worried about is just the fact that Dexter has been away from the tier 1 scene for such a long time. It's been a year since he was, I don't even remember if they were in Katowice. They were, right? A year ago.
Yes.
At least they played at the start of the year. I remember that for sure. But in any case, like, that's a long time to be out of like international competition and just kind of like stuck in your region and playing against, you know, a meta that is entirely different compared to what is played in Europe or even in North America. So that's the one worry that I have, that it's going to take him a long time to kind of get adjusted to the meta that is played over here. And that might be a little bit of a shock at first.
Sure. Obviously, there's that relationship with Mytha, so maybe that they can work together quite well out of the gate. But that's going to be a tall task. I'm going to throw you what I threw Striker before, Prof. What do you see as the biggest issue for this team? How's it all going to go wrong?
I lowered my mic a bit, so I don't know.
You're mega low.
I'm turning you up on my end. Lucas, can you turn him up for everybody at home?
Because I was speaking before. Just the thing that can go wrong.
I think
my microphone.
I think you're good. You're good.
Okay. The thing that can go wrong here, I think, is just like Dexter not having that much experience as a player compared to even the players that he's now supposed to in-game lead. And that's the kind of thing that I don't know how it's going to go, especially if they don't have like a good start or something like that. I think that could be a big issue for mouz sports, because you have Robs that won a lot of tournaments, even Frozen won quite a bit now with mouz sports. Acor maybe not that much, but you get this vibe that if he doesn't lead them the right way early on, I feel like there could be doubt about like, is this gonna work, right? So this is actually a question I have for Nexa. Like, how do you come into a team like this? Like, I feel like similar with you coming to G2, even though you had good results, you come in and you play with Kenny S. So Kenny S is not any player to in-game lead, right?
Like, honestly, I was thinking the same thing you were thinking, and then I came into the team and I met Kenny S, and the guy's like an absolute clown, you know, like he's nothing like you would expect him to be, in the sense that like he's super chill, fun to be around with. Like there is no pressure. He's just like playing his own game. He's not like putting any pressure on anyone else. He's just like enjoying. He loves what he does, and he's just like a pleasure to be around. Like the reason why me and Hunter even came in the first place was for Kenny, you know, and we were looking at him like this big icon of CS, and you know, like putting him on a pedestal, like he's the best opper that ever was, you know, like this amazing guy. And then at the end we just met him and he's just a normal person, you know, like and the same goes for Nico as well. Like at the end of the day, he's just a normal guy playing CS, and it's just like it's really good to have this atmosphere and to be around these people who are let's just say like they don't have a really big ego, and they're easy to get along with.
All right. Well, hopefully for Dexter, well, I guess his teammates are kind of young.
Just like,
Yeah.
You're picking really hard, Prof.
what the fuck is going on?
Like
We
we've
love
even
a good
worse than
tech
before.
issue.
This is like a complete nightmare of a show. I just want to say, the next I just casually throw in that Nico doesn't have a big ego in this, and no one realized.
Well, I was just
I won't say how much he paid me, but
oh dear. All right, let's keep it moving.
Pretty high praise for a guy who's probably gonna kick you like 6 months down the line, you know.
my internal clock is ticking.
Oh, boys, I hate it, because you know that we can, in an alternate universe, we can all see the headlines, can't we? But like, let's live in this universe where everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna work out, and hopefully things